Liberty. It's the heart of the American promise, the foundation of everything we stand for. But liberty, real liberty, isn't a solo act. It's not one voice in the dark. It's a choir. It's the harmony we create when we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, no matter the challenges that face us. From the very beginning, we understood this truth. Farmers didn't survive harsh winters alone. When the fields froze and the livestock dwindled, they turned to each other. Barns were raised together. Supplies were shared. Communities rallied to rebuild after hurricanes, tornadoes, and wildfires. When one fell, others lifted them back up. That's what liberty has always been in America. Not something you take for yourself, but something we forge and share together through sweat, through sacrifice, through trust. Think of Benjamin Franklin standing shoulder to shoulder with the founding fathers, knowing the gravity of their actions. When he said, "We must indeed all hang together, or assuredly we shall all hang separately." He wasn't just talking about their moment. He was talking about every moment since. Liberty doesn't survive in isolation. It thrives in solidarity. It depends on our ability to stand united when forces try to tear us apart. Franklin's warning wasn't just for them. It was for us right now, in this fragile, divided time. And look what happens when we honor that unity. Think of the New Deal, a time when millions of Americans came forward to rebuild a broken nation. They laid railroads, constructed schools, and electrified rural towns. They built the future brick by brick, shoulder to shoulder. Or think of the labor strikes that gave us weekends, fair wages, safe workplaces, and the right to stand up to exploitation. Those weren't the victories of the powerful. They were the victories of the people who stood side by side, refusing to back down. And then there's the moon landing. Think about that for a moment. It wasn't just one astronaut planting a flag on the lunar surface. It was a triumph of thousands, scientists, engineers, mathematicians, factory workers, all working in unison, proving that when we rise together, there's nothing we can't achieve. But it's not just about history. It's about the everyday acts of solidarity happening around us now. It's about neighbors delivering meals to each other after a storm. It's about workers forming unions to demand better treatment. It's about activists marching arm in arm for justice even when the odds feel stacked against them. Liberty isn't just an idea. It's alive. It's breathing, and it depends on all of us to nurture it. Every single one of those victories I mentioned, they weren't about individual liberty. They weren't about one person standing tall while others fell. They were about collective strength. They were about the understanding that my freedom is tied to yours and yours to mine. That's the foundation of liberty. That's the promise we've been fighting for all along. And here's the thing. Liberty isn't fragile when it's shared. It doesn't crumble when it's held by many. It grows stronger. The more people hold it, the brighter it burns, the higher we rise. Together. Always together. But we need to ask ourselves, are we still living up to that promise? Are we standing shoulder to shoulder? Or are we letting ourselves be divided? Because those who seek to hoard power, they know how strong we are when we're united. That's why they try to pit us against each other. That's why they try to make liberty seem like a selfish pursuit. They want us to forget that liberty is only real when it's shared. Only powerful when it lifts us all. So let's remember what liberty truly is. It's not fragile, but it is precious. It grows every time we show up for one another. Every time we refuse to look away when someone else's struggle. Every time we choose solidarity over isolation. That's the promise of liberty. That's the power of us. And if we stand together, there's no limit to what we can achieve. Liberty, equality, fraternity, always together.